Okay, can you see my screen? Perfect.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, all good.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, welcome everybody. Thank you for joining today. My name is Philip. I'm one of the co-founders and the COO of Staex. And today, yeah, we want to share a couple of our very interesting insights of the autonomous robotics market. The title is The Promise of the Autonomous Robotics Market. And why we say the promise, because we realized, especially in the last couple of months, after talking to hundreds of people and different corporations and companies and startups within this industry, that there's such an incredible drive behind these companies. And we met so many smart people with very interesting products, and they all run towards the same goal to enhance the whole robotics industry and, yeah, support human beings in the daily job. Just to make it clear, autonomous, I will refer mostly to robotics market, because for us, every robot is kind of autonomous. We more differentiate on the level of autonomy. So just to make this clear. To go through the agenda really quick, so I will talk about the goal of this webinar first, then I will elaborate a little bit on the automated world. I then go over to the overall general information of the robotics market and the development. Then we have a closer look into the industrial robotics market, because this is really the subcategory we are in right now with our product also. Then obviously the robot software market is super important for us, since we developed a software which can be used by the robotics market. Then we will go or explain a little bit about the investment activities in the robotics market and how we at the moment see the capital flow within this market. And then we will talk a little bit more about the actual software creation in this market, and that is quite difficult for the people who are working in this industry to keep the pace with the crazy growth I will show you in a second. And then in the end, I will explain what we believe is needed by the robotics market and how Staex will help here. And hopefully we have an interesting discussion after this, and you have time to ask further questions. So the goal of this webinar is really to provide the answers to why to invest in the robotics market right now and not in 5 years, especially in Germany, which is actually the biggest robotics market in the world, mostly focusing on hardware, not really on software. But it is a really underestimated market right now. And especially when I talk about the investments and who's investing in this market, you will realize this. But first, let's step back and talk about let's say, the elephant in the room. So we all know we live in an already automated world, and most of the big companies, especially in production and manufacturing, they're building modern factories because they all want to move towards this digitalization and automation to, yeah, just improve the outcome of their production line, of their logistics, and improve the profits. This has been really, the acceleration has been increased a lot, especially in the last 2 to 3 years. This due to the fact of COVID. Obviously, many corporations and companies had problems or needed to replace human beings on the production line with machines. The e-commerce industry is just booming, and when we think about the logistics behind, it is just not feasible anymore to handle all the parcels only with human labor. But overall, and this is from my perspective the most interesting point, is the labor shortage because of the demographic change. You see, everybody knows that people are getting older and older. The tasks which need to be conducted within a factory or even in service environments are usually physically, meaning that the older the society will be, the more problems they have with these tasks, and robots are the perfect replacement for it. And And one of our very interesting findings, why we did the research, are these numbers, and these numbers are really speaking for themselves. So adding automated robots can increase accuracy to 99% and labor productivity by 80%. And from our perspective, and what we learned from the market, can be only, let's say, concluded in this sentence: everything that can be automated will be automated, because at the end of the day, if you're deciding for your company, if you can actually increase the accuracy to 99% and productivity by 80%, there's no reason not to do this. And obviously, the robotics or the robots are the main driver of this automation. And so let's look into the robotics market here. So first of all, what is important to understand is that there are obviously different robot fields, and they are developing not all in the same pace. So we will look mostly into the industrial subcategory, because this is, first of all, the driving force of the robotics market. And this is where we see the first big adoption of not only our software, but also other new robot software. So you have the healthcare, obviously, security, military, entertainment, customer service. All these subcategories have also put up the pace in the last years, but nothing compared to the industrial subcategory. But overall, on the right side, you see here, we're starting right now with a market size of about $55–56 billion, and have a very, very strong CAGR, way bigger than in the most other industry, of nearly 23%, resulting and estimated in 2030 at $215 billion US. So having a closer look into the industrial robotics market, as I said, this is really the driving force here. So this, when you look at on the left side, you see that this is takes nearly 2/3 of the overall market size, and has an incredible market growth here. But not only the market size is really mentionable. What is, from our perspective, and this is not only from our research, but also from the experience we gained from the market, the installed units of robots is increasingly even more rapidly. So in 2022, we have over 518,000 installations of new units. The estimations are right now with a CAGR of 31% expected, and to be expected to be even higher than this. Meaning in 2030, there will be over 1 million industrial robots implemented every year. So if you think about this and compare this right now, and I provided here a comparison to Tesla gigafactories, they have 160 robots in their factory. This growth is really remarkable. And it's not just obviously, we're not just talking about these huge robots in such gigafactories, but also about smaller robots, service robots, robots which replace human work. And from our perspective, this amount of robots need to be managed different than today. And that's why, and this is also what the market is seeing, that's why you need new software. You need software which manage the robotics or the robots different than they're doing it today, especially in these fields. The data management and analysis software is one of the biggest, has one of the biggest increase estimated until 2030 with 11x, which is, when you compare this to other industry, it's really crazy. And you really, and what I want to share is that if you go to these events and if you talk to partners and potential customers, you really get this energy, this crazy pace they have, and that they want to change something here. For us, obviously, the most important thing is the communication management software here, which has, first of all, has the biggest increase with 13x, and shows really that these huge robot fleets, which are getting bigger and bigger, need to have a strong communication among each other, and also not among each other, but also when it comes to connection to robots and machines from other corporations and companies. Overall, what you can see here is the market size right now, fairly small, nearly $4 billion, but also with a nearly 11x value increase to nearly 45 billion euros by 2030. But despite of this very clear data that we see, so we can really see that there's a strong growth, there's a stable growth, a steady growth. The investment activities are very interesting from our perspective. So if you look at Amazon, they just launched a $1 billion fund, an innovation fund, and from the first 5 investments, they did 2 in robotics. And this is very clear that there are a couple of very big players who also see this growth in the market, and they know that the investment in this market is crucial for them to be competitive over the years. The 2 companies are Agility Robotics and Mantis Robotics, actually 2 US companies. But it's very clear here for us that the big players in the market, not all of them see this growth, but the ones who see it, they invest heavily in it. Then coming to the next point, despite the capital market right now, and we all know that it's going down at the moment, valuations are decreasing, etc. But only in 2022, by now, over $5 billion of capital was allocated to robotic startups. And this is, again, quite a big amount. And this, again, shows the steadiness and the stability of this market and the growth of the market. But the interesting thing here, again, is, and you can check out the sources, the number of VCs who are putting this money together are very, very small. So it's not spread across hundreds or 200s or whatever number of VCs. It's a very small amount of VCs who are looking into this market and bringing money into this market. Which also is getting clearer on the next point. So what kind of companies, what kind of robotics companies are getting money? So it's not about just small companies or like more mature companies. We have, for example, Wandelbots, German company, Series C, closed over $84 billion in the beginning of this year. They're based in Dresden. Then we also have small companies like Vaku. They just closed seed round over 1.5 million, also a German company. Many of these robotics companies and startups who get funded are in Germany. And one of the investors, for example, is Inside Partners. We also talk to them because they're really looking deeply into the robotics market. And it's really crazy how, and if you check out the sources, it's super crazy how small the amount of VCs is who are investing the money. However, this all comes together to the sentence underneath that the investments in robotics market stay strong within this small circle, despite the difficult economic conditions. And here I'm not referring just to the capital market, but also COVID and the war, etc., the energy prices, and so on. But coming back to what is happening in the market regarding especially the software. So I already said that there is the need and the market growth of getting new software in the market. And these sound bites we received from many different corporations and companies we talked to who are creating robots, who are creating software for robots. And we would like to share it with you because it's very, after hearing these kind of challenges, it's very clear what the market needs right now. So first of all, the secure connection between robots is incredibly complex at scale. If you have 2-3 robots, you can use the VPN, you can let them talk to each other. It's not a big deal. But if you go bigger, and as you see the market estimations, it's getting bigger and bigger. And the more they are also interconnected with each other, you need a secure network, a secure connection. On top of that, robots require very high performance software with a low footprint. That means that with the increase of the autonomous level, robots have more complex tasks to do, more connection to different robots with other software, with other systems. And this This means that you need the new application, the new software, which is running on the robots, need to be very, very small so that there's enough space for further application, which are coming along when you saw the 2 slides ago, what kind of software will be implemented more and more on the robots. And this brings me to the next point, which is one of the most important ones, because obviously there are already tools which companies are using to manage their robot fleets. But these tools are mainly driven by cloud. And when it comes to cloud, there is obviously, they have a clear reason why they exist. But when it comes to the management of robots or distributed networks, clouds are really not built for it. And this is especially when it comes to robots and when it comes to battery operated robots. If you have software which is running through the cloud and is managed by the cloud, and the software the software is using a lot of energy, battery operated robots, which are getting more and more on the market, run out of battery quite fast. And this needs to change very, very soon, because the more of these robots you have, the more inefficient cloud services or cloud technologies will be. And the last point is, again, quite technically, but also super important. So especially for robotics developers, they have the problem with integrating these networks against each other when it comes to the time, when it comes to the efficiency of integrating. But the overall inability to perform these over-the-air updates is also super complex. Meaning, if you want to run a distributed system consisting of robots, and you wanna deploy or run out a over-the-air update, it is quite difficult to manage this with the current technologies. So, what does the robotics market need right now? And I wanna go back a little bit to explain one term, because from my perspective, I think especially for investors, it's super important to understand this term, which is called DevOps. DevOps is the combination of development and operations to increase the efficiency, the speed, the security of software development, and also delivering the software to the machines. This term has been around for about 13 years right now. And it is very, very important, especially for creating software quicker, more efficient, rolling out the software, managing the software, orchestrating the software. It's very important that you have a very strong DevOps platform. And this is exactly what we provide with Staex. We have 2 features. The first feature is Staex MCC. This is our peer-to-peer networking. This will help you, first of all, to connect the robots to each other, meaning you can communicate very securely. You can gather business critical information of the robots, like the health information or any production efficiencies. But this is the base for everything. If you don't have a strong network within your robot fleet, you can really forget it, because you're not able to orchestrate further software on top. The second feature is StaexD. This is our decentralized application orchestration tool. It sounds quite difficult, but it's actually quite easy to understand, because this is let's say, the power of the cloud, or the power of the cloud services in a decentralized network. Meaning you can do the same what you would do in the cloud, for example, rolling out software, managing the software, operating every single node / every single machine, but in a decentralized network. And as I said earlier, when it comes to scalability in the robotic industry, you have the problem that with the current technologies, you're not really able to scale fast. And if you that's why one of the titles was keeping pace with the software. You need to have technologies which enables you not only on the hardware side to scale fast with your robots, but also on the software side. And that's why these two features in combination is, we call it a DevOps platform for robotics, meaning you have a really powerful multi-tool, or a really powerful and multi-usable tool for building these and creating and managing these robot fleets, and obviously also smarter and new industry 4.0 applications. And this all together, from our perspective, is the most important, or one of the crucial parts, which needs to get into the market so that this growth we have seen earlier will really take place. So that's it from my side for now. I hope everything was clear, and yeah, looking forward now to your questions if you have any. Anyways, thank you so much right now for listening. But again, it would be super amazing if we have some questions and we can discuss the information I just shared. Thank you.